Ronnie made me feel like more of a man than most women have ever made me feel.
Ronnie really makes you believe in yourself.
Ronnie's slogan is, do your best and then take a big rest. Done. My girlfriend said she wasn't turned on to me anymore. She said I wasn't warm and cuddly enough. And then she left me for a comic book writer.
Tone it up. Now control drop into your face.
I used to go about my day spending tens, even hundreds of calories doing just regular daily activities like lying down, brushing my teeth, reading a book. Now with the Slob 90X program, I can do these things in a lazy, almost catatonic way.
SLOB stands for slow, lazy, ordinary body. In just 90 days, I can help you become a computer nerd, a party animal, or just a plain old lovable slob. But there's too much crap to explain here now, and I gotta take a nap. So get yours today, and we'll send you the entire Slob 90X 12 DVD set, plus 4 bonus DVDs. Don't be miserable and muscle bound. Be a slob now. I did it, and so can you. Couch body.
All right, everybody. Joel Marshall here. I'm your host of Lunch Therapy. Today's Interview Friday, and we've got a great guest today. We have Jamel Hooper. He's a comedian. He's a poet. He's a party rocker, crowd motivator, mobile DJ in the LA area. So that's going to be super fun to have him on here. He's also a friend of Bloss's and a friend of mine. So really excited to have Jamel here to hear about what he's been doing with the comedy scene here in Los Angeles and wherever else he might find himself. Let's get into this thing. This is called Lunch Therapy. Today is Interview Friday. Hoy, Todd Lee. On this show, we say hoy instead of hi. We never say the word modality. And those are the rules. Let's get into this thing. I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 There's Bloss. Bloss is piloting some kind of vehicle. I don't know what's going on now. He's frozen. I'm flying this space jet that it's a different one. They gave us a different model today. I'm flying it. Don't worry, I got the wheel, man. Don't worry. I know you're in the car.
I'm just a passenger right now, bro.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I got it. I got the wheel. Don't worry. It's cool.
All
right, well,
bro, please don't crash, bro.
Oh my gosh, I'll try not to.
Trying to make sure that we're safe.
Your head is ginormous. Why is your head so big today? Uh-oh, wait, there's sad news. Uh-oh, hold on, sad news. You've got to go because there's sad news happening, and that is not conducive to your gigantic face. So there you go. Boo, boo, he's going off the grid. Oh, okay. So let's take a look at this for a second. Sad news, the Warren and Annabelle Magic Show Theater no longer exists with most of the rest of Lahaina. Now that is Maui. I can't believe it. It burned down? Okay, so this is breaking news. There's those horrible fires in Maui.
In Maui.
And years ago, Joe Fury went to Maui with Todd Lee, and we were able to go to this incredible magic show called the Warren and Annabelle Magic Show. And it looks like it burned down with the whole town. I wondered about that, Todd. I couldn't remember exactly where we were, but we're sending out. What?
I guess I was too, and
you're going away. Bloss is going away, so he can come back later. But anyway, sending out love and just compassion and whatever else, I don't know, we can do here from Lunch Therapy. Those poor people in Maui, some of them were jumping into the ocean. People were, it's terrible. Anyway, Hoipi Commando Friday. Who's here? Looks like Jason Edelman is here. Heartbroken about that. Yeah, that was the best and funniest magic show I've ever seen in my life. I wanted to have him on the show. Anyway, let's get into this thing called Lunch Therapy. If Lunch Therapy could be half of what the Warren and Annabelle show was, then it would shoot to superstardom, which is happening anyway. Do you have a video? Videos are too depressing to watch. There are places to donate if you like. All right. Here we got some healing vibrations. Thank God for healing vibrations. Wow, that's a bummer. It's a horrible, horrible bummer, and I hate to bring it up on the show because this show is supposed to be like a break from all the horrible things going on in the world, but it's definitely necessary. And Warren and Annabelle's theater was one of my favorite shows that I've ever seen. I'm sure they will rebuild. Video of yours and Todd and Maui's trip. I have a hilarious video from that, or at least some pictures. Maybe Boney? Boney, could you call that up? Okay. Well, Boney's been having some difficulty over there because there's been a lot of things like Bloss being in a car, and I was trying to get Jamel on the show, and he was like feverishly trying to get him on. But we've got Jamel in the green room. He's with Boney. Hopefully Boney's not going to, influence him in negative ways, because that's what he tends to do. Here's Bloss. Thank God you're here.
Boney! Dude, Boney, leave Jamel alone, man. You're gonna throw him for a loop, man.
It's weird. He's doing that. He's like trying to show Jamel his dance moves and stuff. He heard that Jamel was a dancer.
Jamel's an excellent dancer. Don't call him out, dude. Boney,
Okay.
he just could be.
He is an
your
excellent
nightmare.
dancer.
Don't do it.
Richard Gaddis is here.
Call out.
Good day, my friends. I hope all is well in everyone's world. All is well now.
For Boney,
sure.
it'd be a bad day for Boney. Calling
Bad
out
day for
Jamel on
Boney.
the dance floor. That's not a good idea.
Hey, I have one more relaxation therapy thing. I think it's necessary here, so let's get into that. You've never seen this one before, Bloss. This is going to be a new one for you.
Really?
Yeah, behind me I have Healing Vibrations, which is our favorite sound bath experience. They're out of Linwood, Washington, Seattle, Washington. And now they have a rival. Not really a rival. There are no rivals in sound baths, I don't think. That would be actually a fun show, right? About sound bath rivals.
I am more connected than you. My sounds are
I can sit for a longer period of time.
like a Captain Kirk.
Sound bath competitions. They should have sound bath competitions.
Sound bath.
I am better.
And what they do is they measure everybody's heart rate, and they measure everybody's breathing, and they measure everybody's blood pressure. What do you think about that?
Man, that's they're really locking it in. Huh?
That way it's not subjective at all. You just see who can lower people's blood pressure faster and more effectively. Todd Lee says Northeast Seattle Little League team is going to Williamsport for the LLWS. Oh my God, I've been waiting for the Northeast Seattle Little League team to go to Williamsport for the LLWS.
The representing, dude.
Yeah, in the big time. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Have they ever been to the Little League tournament or anything?
Plus, do you not pay attention to sports? I mean, what, you don't know?
Well, I do, but I'm just not familiar with the Northeast Little League.
Seattle Little League team?
The Northeast Seattle. Yeah, I'm just not. I mean, I keep up with sports. I do. These
gotta
guys,
work
though,
harder,
you know,
man. You gotta
this
work
is
harder.
new talent. I've just been busy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm Definitely
this-
gonna watch though.
Yeah.
Love watching the Little League World Series.
Okay, my friends, now let's focus because this is Gongs Unlimited, and they have allowed us to play this for our own health. It's all gongs.
Gongs Unlimited.
Yeah. And you know what? They don't
Volume
just...
a little bit, buddy.
Okay, let's
Let me hear
hold up. Let's breathe, and we're not going to talk. We're just going to listen, enjoy the gongs. Okay. In through the nose, out through the toes. Let it go. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go.
Oh.
The gong's working, right?
Oh yeah.
I love the way he...
Give me a little bit of... Boney, turn it up just a little bit. Turn the volume up on the gong.
Boney, can you turn up the gong?
Need to feel it. I can hear it, but I'm not feeling
So
it.
this is best listened to with headphones, and I think you can crank it up because I think it's,
Yeah.
it's not
turn it up a
going to
little
give
bit.
you tinnitus or anything like that. In fact, sometimes they say sound baths help people's tinnitus. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I had it bad like yesterday afternoon. It was just humming in my right side of my ear, my right ear. It was just like, whoa.
Wow.
I do that exercise with the thumbs, the back of the head.
Don't you know it? Don't you know it?
Do it 10 times. Hold it for 10 seconds. Cool.
Let's go back to the cockpit because we got to fly the plane. all
Let's
day.
get one last breath. One last breath.
Oh my gosh. You're going to have to breathe in the cockpit, I think. Okay. Hold it. Let it go.
Oh, I needed that one. Ooh, loosen it up.
I need some more gong. That cockpit wasn't working for me right now. This is what I wanted to say, and I didn't want to talk over the gong, but we'll just enjoy it. Just wanted to say, Blas and I went over to the Screen Actors Guild, Writers Guild strike yesterday. Highly recommend all actors and non-actors to go pick up the picket sign and walk the walk so that acting is still a viable profession to raise a family and live a life. It was great to see people like Joe Thornton was there. Eric McDowell was there, friends of mine, actor friends. Some people are going
Candido?
like every day.
Candido made it.
What?
Candido? He was there.
Candido, of course. Candido Carter was there
Pamela.
helping us. Kamala Lopez. Yeah. So if you haven't been out there, get out there. Wear your sunscreen. Drink your water, people.
Hey,
we're
let me
gonna-
tell you, they are so organized. I mean, we went out there to support and to picket and to walk, and they had bottled waters for participants. They had
Food?
the sign-up sheet for members and friends of members. They had food. They had a restaurant.
Donated.
Yeah, they
Right.
donated sandwiches for all the picketers, box lunches.
That's cool.
They had canopies. If you need to take a little
Strike
break, catch
captains
a-
were keeping everybody
catch
like
shade.
on the sidewalk and keep people from jaywalking and organizing the whole thing. And I mean, it was a big deal. There was
Yeah.
a check-in, free shirts. Well,
And
they're not really
we were
free
moving
because
into
the
L.
union pays for them. But yeah, everybody gets a shirt.
Remember, we're walking in, you know how you walk in a circle, right? But we were walking in a L circle, so we were walking in front of the KTLA 5 building on Sunset all the way to the
Netflix.
what was the street we were on? Was that
Van
Van
Ness?
Ness? Van
Yeah.
Ness. All the way to Van Ness to the Sunset opening for the studio. We were just, man,
We are going to have
So many
some
people.
great footage on Tuesday of this and all the shenanigans that occurred at that strike. And look forward to that on Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Yeah, for
Breakfast
Tuesday.
Tuesday, and some Trash Panda comedy too.
That's right. We're gonna have some
You know,
Trash Panda
the strike is serious, but you gotta, you know what I
course
mean?
we're
You
gonna
gotta
have
put a little laugh in there. Come on,
You
we're
gotta,
actors.
you gotta strike as hard as you can with as much comedy as possible, right?
Yes, got it, and you gotta be, and you know what? It's in support too, so everybody gets a chance to get a little giggle, a little laugh. We got
gonna
hanging
be
out with
fun.
a bunch of great people, a bunch of actors that just trying to get fair wages.
86% of the
Opportunities,
of the
that's
actors
nice.
in the union don't even qualify for health insurance. They make under $26,000 a year, and I mean well under most of them.
You have to make how much a year now?
I think it's 26,000. I might be wrong. We can fact check
Can
that.
you imagine that? All you have to do is make it $26,000 a month. That's like
No, not a month.
Like
a year.
18 bucks
a
an
year.
hour?
A year.
40 hours a week? A year. Oh, I'm sorry. But I'm saying that's hard to do,
It's hard because acting jobs are hard to get.
Yeah, they're far in between. It's tough.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's get this thing going because Jamel's in there with Boney, and I don't want him to get too high.
So a lot of support.
Boney's
WGA, SAG-AFTRA, and the LA workers. Everybody, we got stuff going on over here in Los Angeles. We want to show
Tune in on
support
Tuesday for more of that.
on Tuesday.
But right now it's Interview Friday. We'll see you soon, Blossom. We'll be bringing you
Interview
on.
Friday,
Yeah.
brother Jamel.
That's
You guys
right.
hang out, man. All right, brother Jamel. Joe Marshall's Life Therapy.
All right, here we are, Lunch Therapy Interview Friday. Jamel's going to be coming on. He has no idea because we didn't have a chance to kind of prep him on how this thing goes. So he's going to be on kind of a roller coaster ride. Jamel is a fellow comedian here in Los Angeles. He's been really coming on strong. He's been doing the Comedy Chateau. He's been doing Flappers. He's been doing all kinds of venues around town. He's also one of the founders of Spoken Funk, which is, we had poetry on the show a while back talking about that. And he's just he's a poet. He's a DJ. He can dance. We're going to have a dance break here. At the end of the show. He can act. Well, that's a new one to me. Wish I had some clips of him acting.
He's
but I don't
also
have that.
one of the founders of the Poetry Lounge.
Poetry Lounge.
The Poetry
I
Lounge.
said Spoken Funk. I said Spoken Funk.
No, but he was with Spoken Funk too. He's with Poetry. That's they're partners.
So
Poetry is actually one of the founders too of the Poetry Lounge, and that is the largest and the oldest Poetry Lounge in the country. 25 years.
So there
At
you
Greenway
have it.
Court Theater down there with Pearson and the gang over there at Fairfax High School, and it's just beautiful. Tuesday nights, guys. Tuesday nights at
who
the
has a
Poetry
flyer?
Lounge.
Who has a flyer?
And
Oh, wait,
this is Spoken
I
Funk.
do.
This is,
Thanks,
this,
Boney.
this one's in Victorville.
This one's
this
in
one
Victorville.
is
Yeah,
located
that's
in
where poetry is, right?
Yeah, that's
where he
Poetry.
is.
That's Poetry's venue, Spoken Funk. And what I'm talking about, as far as where everybody came from,
Yeah.
was the Poetry Lounge.
Hey, who has another flyer? I have another one too. Wait till you see this. We'll put these up at the end of the show so everybody can
Oh yeah.
take a good
Oh, yeah.
gander at them.
That's what.
But he's got the Burbank Comedy Festival over there at Flappers, right? Flappers?
Yep, the Flappers. He
Burbank Comedy.
killed in the
We're going to
first
talk to
couple
him
of
about
rounds,
that.
man,
Talk
last
about
year.
these comedy competitions and his experience in that because, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, they should have acting competitions too, right?
Well, we had the Actors Lounge for 7 years. You
Oh
come
yeah,
in,
you did. You had the actors. Actually don't think you should have acting competitions. But anyway,
did,
we're
you did.
gonna find
It
out.
wasn't
You
a
guys
competition. It was just a show. It was a place
I
to
wanna
come
hear
and do
about it.
scene
I wanna
and do
hear about
improv, and it was
It's sort of
nice.
like-
Actors got to meet each other and put scenes together, work on it all week, come back next week.
It's
And
sort of like sound bath.
We did monologues. We
competitions,
did
right?
duos.
All right,
group
let's
scene,
get this thing
ensemble.
going. We're gonna talk to him. I'm gonna bring you on, Blas, too, as we go along. So you're gonna pop in here.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go.
Interview Friday.
There are two key elements to my personality. Hood, nerd. Y'all see it now, don't you? You see, I'm a beautiful Venn diagram of hood, nerd. And you know this because I'm gonna be the only brother to hit the stage and use the word Venn diagram. But when I left the hood, man, that was an essential skill that I needed to make it this far in life. Very essential skill. code switching. For those of y'all who don't know what code switching is, it means I talk a certain way amongst my family and friends in the hood, and a certain way around company. Also known as white people. For example, I'm in the hood. Yo, kid.
What
I'm
up?
about to make this move, man. You good?
I'm good, man.
When I'm at work. Hey, Brian, I'm running to the market. Would you like anything?
All right. Yeah. Jamel. Welcome to Lunch Therapy. Uh-oh, we don't have your sound. We have no sound. You're muted somehow. Let me see if maybe I can make it happen. Boney, can you fix his sound? Okay, now, Jamel. Welcome
Can
to
you
Lunch
hear me now?
Therapy. Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic.
That was Boney. That was Boney's problem.
Thank
Welcome.
you, Boney. Way to go.
Yeah.
You're
Jeez.
tech savvy.
He's so
Great to have a
quick.
text.
He's so
Yes.
quick. Yeah, he's on it. Did you enjoy hanging out with Boney in the green room? Is that fun?
I did, but I didn't see him in there. I wanted to.
Oh.
I wish
wow.
I see myself in the green room, and I was looking for other people, and that's
Yeah.
just to. I like to tickle people in the green room when I'm in there.
It's dark in there. It's dark in the green room. Boney's probably sitting in the corner, but you didn't see him. He's weird. He's weird that way. Hoy, everyone's saying hoy. So yeah,
Hoy.
welcome to the Lunch Therapy. It's so great to have you here. Tell us, what have you been doing since COVID, and tell us about, like, you're doing this Burbank Comedy Festival. Can you tell us about
Yes.
that?
Yes. Okay. See, I'm glad you asked the specific because
Yeah.
you said what have you been doing since the
Yeah,
the
right. That
pandemic.
could be ugly. It could be ugly.
It has been.
It really hasn't, hasn't it?
It's been a little
For
bit
all
of
of
both.
us. For all
Yeah,
of us.
right. So yeah, man, the Burbank Comedy Festival at Flappers.
Yeah.
Next week, and I'm actually performing on Monday. I'm doing both of my shows on Monday, so that's gonna be
2 shows. So what time are they again?
One's at 6:30,
Yeah.
and the other one's at 8.
Wow. Cool.
Something like
Do you
that.
like to do 2 shows in a night? Do you like
I
it?
do actually.
Yeah. It's fun, right?
I do. Yeah, man. One time I was actually at Flappers one day, and I think one show, and I hopped off stage, and a fellow comedian friend was doing the open mic on the other room.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yo, the open mic's almost done. You want to hop on before we go?" I'm like, "Hell yes."
Hell yes. Yes.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Because like when you're an up and coming
Yeah.
comedian, you don't get a whole lot of perks.
No.
A lot in
Yeah.
rooms, and
Yeah.
and so when you get a chance to get those perks, you take advantage of them, man.
Yeah. You want to do as many as you can possibly do, right?
Yeah.
So have you been getting a lot of stage time lately?
I balance, or I say, like, when I don't have shows,
Yeah.
I still hit the open mics.
Yeah.
Because
Where do
my
you
thing
go?
is, like,
Where do you go for
I
open
to be
mics in
sharp.
LA? What are
Well,
your
just-
favorite places?
Just last night I went to Corbin Bowl, man, over in Encino.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Is it Encino or
I don't
Tarzana or some shit? Corbin Bowl, whichever city that is, but it's on Ventura, and it's up to 101. I go there on Thursday sometimes. I also go to this place called My Gym.
Yeah.
It's by the Mint.
By
And
the
it's
Mint?
By the Mint
You mean
on Pico.
on Pico?
Yep.
I got to get over there. You got to tell me about that one because that's
That's a-
nearby.
Oh man, come over. It's now I'm gonna tell you now.
Yeah.
I give this disclaimer to people when they go into My Gym. My Gym is unlike any other open mic that you will find in the city. It is like underground, and it's music. Like, you have people rapping and stuff. Like, they mix it up with different art forms, but it's mostly comedians. And
Right.
but it's an underground place because it's like this gallery where this guy is always doing art, and so it's never finished inside.
Awesome.
So,
I love that. The Mint is known for music here in Los Angeles. Like, it's a very famous club for music. And is this in the club itself, or is it like
No,
you said it was
no.
underground? Is it in the basement, or what's going on over there?
No, it's next door to the Mint.
Oh, it's next door to the Mint. That's great. You know,
Yes,
they used to have that comedy club over there, but it went away during COVID. Anybody in the chat room can come up with the name of that place. Yeah, it was like a very nice comedy club over there. Hopefully it'll come back.
Oh, you talking about the Comedy Union?
Comedy Union, yes.
Comedy Union, yes,
It's like just like a block away or something, right, from the Mint, or a couple blocks?
No, it's a few blocks.
It's a few blocks?
Yeah, maybe half a mile.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I'm going to get over there. You're going to have to give me the information on that. How did you, what do you think about comedy competitions? Like, how did you get involved in them? Is it a fun time? Do you enjoy it? Is there a lot of camaraderie, or is there a lot of strife? Are people punching each other out in the competition? What happens?
Sometimes I wish it was a little more physical, but it's not. I mean, I wouldn't get involved in that part, but no, man. You know, it's part of the game. I think I'm not fond of them.
Yeah.
Comedy competitions in general, because the ones that I've been in, you kind of got to bring an audience a little bit, and then so that the audience kind of like it's kind of one of those things where you bring the most people, then there's a good chance
then you get the
win.
most votes, right?
Yeah, and then sometimes like they have like these weird rounds of you know, like 3-minute round things. The pressure for competitions is more pressure than most shows that I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you feel more stressed out because you're competing? Yeah. I mean, is it a competition? Maybe, you know, do you think it makes your tools sharper though? Your comedy tools?
I think it
have
makes
that kind of pressure.
I think it helps me work on my nerves. It helps me you know, try to, you know, calm them and then you know, hit the stage, you know, when necessary, because
hit the stage and take it and own it.
Yeah, yeah.
I've noticed that about you, because I've seen your comedy and I've seen what we're going to show, you know, like what we just showed, and you have really come into your own on the stage. You're really owning it, and you've really found your voice, and it's just great to see. Equal Means Equal says Hood Nerd is a great moniker. I think it really is. I love that. I mean, your framing of it and your groundedness comes through. And it's really great. How did you find it? Were you like a nervous person? When you first got on the stage, were you like introverted, extroverted? What happened? And how did it happen?
When I first got on stage,
first
as a
time
comedian?
to do stand-up. Yeah, to do stand-up.
I mean, no, man. I've been entertaining all my life. I've been living my life on stage, and doing stand-up to me was do your act. Like, you know, because stand-up comedy is an act. Like, you know, like no matter what you're not the same person on stage as you are off stage. So when you get on stage, you know, like, even if you think that you're being you, it's the act of being you, because it's usually a more exaggerated side of whoever we are. And when I first started doing stand-up, I used to work with this mentality that everything I'm gonna do is a surprise to y'all. So I have the upper hand. like to me, it wasn't like, oh, I'm so scared, I'm so nervous about what's gonna happen. No, I always felt like I have the upper hand here, because I can just do some shit just out of the blue, and then you have to deal with it. Like, it's not my thing. But I still believe in that.
Yeah.
And I still believe in that, but that's not my take when I go on stage now, because now I have a lot more material.
Mm-hmm.
And so now now I'm able to hit the stage with a motive and intention, a little more intention of what my act is.
And you can also pivot if you need to.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually have a move now that when I pivot, like when I'm pivoting, I'll say I might say
You have a physical move?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. I'll say allow me a moment to pivot, and I pivot. I turn around with the mic in my hand. I turn.
That's interesting.
And then I go to a new bit.
How do you come up with material? What's your process? What do you do to come up with material?
It's still life. It's still like
Yeah.
if something in life makes me laugh or I find interesting to talk about, I go there. But then just like the pivot thing, that's a common term in comedy,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, I started thinking about how can I do a spin on pivoting,
Yeah.
and so a lot of my material comes from how can I spin this train of thought that's going on in the world, and make it funny, because that's where a lot of
I like that.
my a lot
Like
of
you
my
said,
material.
Like you said, point of view. Like
Yes.
how can I adjust my point of view? Because you can take different points of view, and it doesn't have to be your own point of view. You can say, you know what, maybe it'd be funnier if I take the point of view that I love going to the DMV. And let's see if I can support that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the moment you say that, now the audience is listening, going, "Oh, really?
You do?
Tell me more."
I like getting my picture taken. I get to sit in the chairs and look at my phone. I can even get in an argument with somebody. It gets my blood pressure up, so I get really excited. Whatever it is, you can just keep going. So so a lot of times, and some people might say, "Well, I don't love going to the DMV," but you're doing it for comic effect. Do you think being a DJ, were you a DJ first before you were stand-up?
Yes.
Do you think that helps you be a stand-up?
Yes. A very common thing with the two of them are you have to watch and pay attention to your audience. Like it's very crowd or audience determinative. You know what I mean? Like it's, because
you gotta connect.
you gotta connect. In comedy, you must read the room. If you don't, then you're just imposing on a room, and hoping that they come to you. And in DJing, it's the same thing. You read the room. You play a song or two, and you watch and see who's tapping their feet, who's in a conversation doing this, with a drink in their hand, and who's bopping.
Whose attention did you get?
Yeah, and then you find, and then you get an idea of what to keep playing during the show or during the night, or at least during that moment, because in DJing the room tends to build as the night goes on.
Oh, and because you're kind of lifting it up.
That and people get more drinks in them.
That's all for comedy too.
And they're ready. And they're ready to drink. And they're ready to dance now. Like they've been drinking, and they're loose.
Get loose. Yeah.
Cocktail hour is over.
I got a question.
Yeah.
What's up?
Let me bring you.
Do you feel that, like, say with DJing, right? Like you might have an idea for a song. You play a song, and people react to it good, and it kind of takes you in a direction, right? That song, the song you played, kind of goes, "Ooh, I can kind of go with this kind of a genre or this kind of a tone," right? You feel like the same thing with comedy, like say when you pivot or you think you need to pivot, you think you have a joke, you set up a certain kind of a joke or a certain kind of a story, and people are reacting to it good, and you go, "Oh, I can run with that." And then maybe sometimes people aren't really reacting to it, and then you go, "Oh, I got to pivot. I got to go another move." I mean, do you think that's a similarity with DJing and stand-up?
Oh yeah, and then
you feel like that, like reading the room.
And Joel, you could probably attest to this. So like there's some bits that have a lot of different avenues that you can go on. Like once you work out the material and you've like that hood nerd bit.
Yeah.
That version is only like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is probably 15.
Right.
So
the whole bit, the whole set, the whole run.
So if I go on another side, I start describing like what made me a hood nerd, and so I'm thinking, and it's spontaneous sometimes, like I can do this physical joke because they tend to love the physical comedy in this room right now. They seem to that, or I can go here with the more cerebral side of being a hood nerd, because they're gonna like that part, and so my mind, when I'm on stage, will kind of dictate it because of the audience, what the audience is giving me.
You gotta be really present to do that. And I think some people, when they first start doing comedy, they're like, this is what I'm going to do. And regardless of what happens, I'm going to do it. And then they don't notice all the comedy that's happening around them, the things that are happening. Bloss is really good at that, really good at like noticing things and noticing people. When yesterday we were at the SAG strike, and he was like, take a picture of me. And then he just gathered like, I don't know, 15 people to take a picture with him. And it was a beautiful picture. And I was like, what did you just do? You just made this. And it looked like we were all doing it together, and it was just kind of cool. So I love that about Bloss. He's just like so present. And Jamel, you are too. I want to play another clip. Skill. Yeah, it's an improv skill. We're going to talk about that in a second. I want to play one more of your clips. This one's about Tupac.
The early Tupac.
Uh-oh, that didn't work.
It's okay.
That was great. That was wonderful.
Yay, excellent. Hey.
Early Tupac. Bonnie, what the heck was going on there? I don't know what was happening. We'll have to fix that. Let's play another clip then. We want to see you dance.
I love the lady at the bench.
All right.
The early Tupac.
Yeah.
But it's got a baby Tupac. You know what I'm saying? I like keep your head up, Tupac. He was so passionate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude had mad passion. Keep your head up. Dear mama. He didn't always ask the smartest questions, though. I wonder if heaven got a ghetto. Fuck no. I'd like to know that when I die, government cheese is no longer on the menu too. They always have drive-bys and shit. No.
All right, that was good. Yeah. I love that. Well, that's the other thing. Like, a lot of times you talk about people, and your audience maybe doesn't know the person very well or something like that, and then you have to like kind of pivot from that. So it's always good to be somebody that everyone knows. And I love the way you're just so insightful in the crowd. Where was that one?
That was at the Poetry Lounge.
That was at the Poetry Lounge. Okay, we got some Poetry Lounge on here.
It's got kind of a theater in the round kind of vibe. Audiences can sit anywhere. They could sit behind you on the stage, on the sides. It's nice. It's a great venue.
How did that? I'm going to bring you on, Bloss, as well. How did the Poetry Lounge come about?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You want to?
Jamel, you're the guest. We'll let you talk.
Yeah. You tell your story. Tell your version.
I guess the founder of the Poetry Lounge, Dante Bosco, he was on the poetry scene in Los Angeles and doing poetry, events and with other poets, and he decided he wanted to do it himself. And but in order to do it himself, he needed a team, and so he first started off with like he and Bloss collaborated and started doing like a poetry then dance party kind of thing theme that they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And Bistro 829.
And so we would do that, and then we kind of dropped the dance portion of it and just started doing just open mic itself, and with just poetry, and we would get.
And we left the original venue.
Yeah, we were getting different venues.
We went. My friend of mine owned a restaurant, Bistro 829 on La Cienega, and then we ended up stop working at that particular location, and like Jamel said, Dante was like, "Man, we got to do this thing," and Jamel just said he started putting crew together. Poetry was on the scene. Shihan also was almost a brand new poet back in the earlier days, and Jamel was there, and we had DJ's music, and then the following from that particular venue kind of followed Dante and the crew, and then they just started finding locations where it ended up that they didn't have a location, and they ended up in Dante's living room
In the
behind
living room.
Nico Hotel. Yeah, in Beverly Hills. And they were
cool.
doing it right there in the living room, bro. Just
Jamel,
raw.
are you still writing poetry too?
Sometimes, yeah. I don't perform as much anymore though as I used to. So I don't memorize my poems like I used to because I'm not doing a lot of poetry these days.
Yeah, because it's all comedy. It's all the comedy.
Yeah.
Do you have any
Yeah.
Do you have any mentors that you work with as a comedian, or do you have people that have like helped you out, help you craft your material?
No, they don't like me.
What do you mean they don't like you?
No.
You mean comedians or people?
No. You know what? I haven't, man. I do study, and I still study a lot, and I watch comedians, and I like I talk to some of the older guys, some of the OGs, and what have you.
Yeah.
And there are a few like they definitely, if I pick their brain and I want to talk to them, they're open.
Yeah.
To doing that. I think my
You used to have
personality.
conversations with David Arnold, right? Like you and David Arnold were making appearances at a lot of the same places and stuff.
You think your personality is what? Tell me about
my personality isn't just sometimes doesn't help me seek out mentors the way I used to when I was younger. I think these days, the people that I think the ones that I've tried to talk to sometimes, they're just really busy, and so it's hard to like engage and get that lesson. And then also I notice, and this could be a projection that I have, that they have a lot of people coming to them a lot already, particularly those who are some of the more known comedians.
Successful.
So there's probably a lot of people who, like are pulling at their tail a lot to try to get opportunities. And sometimes I think I sense my impact skills senses that they're tired, that they may be a little annoyed. Like comedy is a very lonely game, Joel.
It really is, isn't it? You got to figure out. We had Jerry Corley on the show who teaches comedy, and he's a comedian, a very accomplished comedian. And he said that he talked to George Carlin after a show. He was able to talk to him and said, can you help me out about how you do it? He goes, do you write your comedy and then you just perform it on stage? And he's like, yeah, I do. And he said, well, how do you know if it's going to be funny? And George Carlin said, it's got all the properties that make funny in it. And Jerry was like, well, what is that? And he said, you got to figure that out, kid. You got to figure that out, kid.
Yeah. It is. It's very, very. Carlin was very isolated in that way, where he wrote his jokes without an audience.
Yeah,
and he pretty much knew what was funny and what wasn't.
But you would really have to do a lot of comedy to do that.
Yeah,
you know?
And when he used to set stuff up, and he'd get the reaction he wanted, like any other good writer, he can go in any direction of that bit, like when he, of what he's talking about, like, and he's a very conscious comedian. You know what I mean? Like he's always talking about society and environment and people, how people are. So he can go in any directions as far as
it's such a balance though as being a comedian, right? Because you're balancing your point of view and not trying to just please other people. Because if you're trying to please other people, then it comes across pandering. You're not trying to get laughs, but at the same time, you have to be in tune with what they're responding to, so you know where to go. Because sometimes you'll come in with something that people just don't even relate to. You know what I mean? You can feel it in the room, and you got to I got to find something else that these people are going to really relate to. Is that your experience?
That is my experience, but also something that I've noticed with very successful comedians like Carlin and Chappelle is that when they've reached special status, it's not about pivoting anymore for them.
Yeah.
It's not about pivoting anymore. Like the audience came to see them.
Yeah.
So and then whatever they're talking about, the audience is already hanging on their every word.
It's so true. Yeah.
So they have a set that they just go through the set.
Yeah.
Like that's no pivoting.
Tangents. Yeah, right. They could go in any direction they want on that set. They writing new material in the moment.
No, but but like internally, but the set is already.
Well,
done.
exactly.
Also, there's a thrill to seeing your favorite comedian that happens immediately when they come on stage. When you're a not as known comedian, that doesn't happen to the audience. The audience is like, okay, make me laugh.
Yeah,
make me laugh.
See how funny this guy.
You got to prove yourself every single time.
Looks like my mailman.
You're proving yourself, exactly.
Yeah.
Every time we step on the stage, we're proving ourselves to people who don't know us. But then like your known comedians, like for example, I when I was DJing at the Comedy Store and on Thursday nights, two people showed up, and I noticed something, a similarity with the two of them, and that was T.I. and Dave Chappelle. Right?
Oh,
yeah.
And it not in the same night, but it was like back-to-back weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I see T.I. get on stage, who, when he got on stage, he said, "This is my 16th day in doing stand-up comedy." But even in 16 days, the audience was hanging on his every word. They were already a captive audience for him because they knew who he was.
Yeah.
And he even started by saying, I'm not a comedian. I'm a motherfucking superstar.
He already got you.
And he knew that. And so I saw this unpolished, this unworked, aspiring comedian be able to basically hold the room because, like with unpolished material, but because the audience already knew who he was, they had a reference point to be able to laugh with him, right? And then Dave Chappelle gets on the next week and it's Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
So naturally people are hanging on the edge of their seat, waiting to hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
And he's
also
wait.
He's literally just working out material.
Yeah.
Just working out material, and they're laughing. They're like, and I'm going, wow, it's a different world when they know you already.
Yeah.
Like you have so much more leeway to just play.
We have to sort of establish ourselves every single time. That's why you get so many comedians going, I'm from Iowa, whatever. They say where they're from or whatever when they come up there, because they got to establish who they are. Otherwise, people are going to be thinking, who is this person? And are they deranged or whatever it is?
And why does he see life like that? Like, why does he see things like that?
And you see people alienate the audience like that, too, if they don't establish themselves. This is who I am.
Yeah.
And so we have to do it every time.
That's what made me come up with Hood Nerd.
Yeah.
That's what made me come up with that. It's like,
that's a good idea. Really good idea.
Understand what they're about to watch on stage. Like,
that is a really great idea.
Hood in the audience, and now you're doing a combination of hood and nerd jokes. And you can have nerds or just people that book smart in the audience, and now you're doing hood jokes and nerd jokes. Now they know your reference point immediately. They know where you're coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I love that. The concept for hood nerd immediately when you first talked about it, I was like, oh man, I love it already, man. I mean, that's you. That sounds great to me.
We're getting a lot of love from the chat room. Love you, Jamel.
Love you too, CeeLo.
Yeah. I like this one that says, well, if they don't like you, they're wrong. You say they don't like you. They're wrong.
Thank you for that.
That's funny.
I was just joking. Like I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if people don't. I don't know the people who don't like me. I don't pay attention.
No, of course. Do you consider yourself an introverted person or an extroverted person, or both?
Both. I have my moments.
Yeah.
I have my moments. Like when I want to be alone, I'm alone. When I want to be around people, it's like hello, hey guys. Like when I want to be around people, I can be a crowd person.
Yeah.
But even in crowds, again, I found my place in the crowd. Like I'm not the kind of person who want to stand on tables and just insist that everyone listen to me, or insist on.
You're not pushing for
always
attention.
leading the conversation and what have you. People say like Leos love attention. It's like only when we want it. Like, do we love attention?
Right. Yeah, I'm a little like that too. Richard Gaddis says he's deeply in like with you, Jamel.
Thank you, Richard.
It's good. I like that. Okay, let's play. Oh wait, I just want to play this thing. This is you skating. I've changed the music because they sometimes make me take things down if I do that. But it's awesome. I love this.
Is this in Houston?
Where is it? I love the way you're just kind of floating. Are you on a skateboard or skates?
I am. I'm on a board and she's skating.
I love it.
It looks cool because of the construction we just went through. That it looks awesome.
Yeah, it's rad, isn't it?
Well, you're riding that board too, huh?
And there's someone chasing you. Who's chasing you?
This little girl who follows me around, when I go skating. Like she's
one of his groupies.
That's my daughter.
Oh, that's nice.
That's my baby girl right there.
Oh, that's great.
It's America.
I love that.
That's a great video.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Todd Lee is also a Leo, and he totally agrees with you. Do you think? What about having a family? Would you make jokes about your family?
Marginally.
Yeah.
I don't make a lot of. I have some material.
Yeah.
But I haven't really worked that material in yet.
Yeah, it's harder.
Family material.
I've played with it. Some. But you guys were talking about Carlin earlier, and because I'm a poet, also, I observe the world a lot. So, and then I give my perspective on what's going on in the world and who I am as a person. So, so sometimes like family, it's not so much important for me to talk about family stuff. It's important for me to talk about world perspectives and social perspectives. And that's actually one of the things that I got from George Carlin, because George Carlin was a master at being able to talk to an audience and not insist that everything is funny. Like he had a lot of aha moments. He had a lot of that great perspective.
He did, didn't he? I mean, that's the thing.
Like exposing.
Yeah.
Like saying a truth to the world.
Yeah,
it's what Jerry Corley calls a simple truth.
Yeah.
He actually said that he would kind of remove himself from society and try and observe it as if he was not in society. And that would help him get this perspective so he could see things that maybe some of us weren't seeing,
Yeah. Like it was the audience, like watching.
Like an audience watching. Like, why do they do this?
Yeah. And so I even talk to comedians sometimes about knowing how to engage and as long as people are with comedy, and this is my perspective on comedy, as long as people are laughing or listening, and sometimes both.
Yeah.
Because it's about engagement, and because as long as they're not heckling you, they're engaged.
Yeah.
Have
you ever noticed too when a comedian gets up there and is saying something that is truly like something that they have figured out, and sometimes it's like even a story or something like that, the time goes by faster because you're engaged in what they're saying rather than just hearing joke after joke after joke. It might not be a lot of laughs, but you're like, that guy didn't get very much time, and they've got exactly the same amount of time as everybody else, but they were engaged you.
Yes.
Yeah, the story is interesting in it, and it's they're invested into the story,
and we can relate to it.
And that's always enjoying, man. Yeah, it's like I have bits sometimes that it's just about me, talking to them, and there are laughs in there, but it's just enjoyable to know that whatever it is about me or whatever is about my skill set, that it allows people to just be engaged with what I am on stage.
Yeah.
And that's fun.
Verna says simple truth can be very funny. It's true. And it's also what something we were talking about a couple weeks back or last week, where you like look at the person next to you because you're both like, yeah, you get that too. That, the person says the thing on stage and
you don't know
the person
them
next to you,
and you're laughing at the same
Yeah,
joke,
you don't know them, but
right?
you're like,
you look at each other like,
yeah.
hey,
This is funny, right? Yeah, that's like the best kind of thing. Here's something, here's a nice clip.
Black women talk with rhythm. They also talk with foreshadowing.
Yeah.
You ever hear a black woman say, let me tell you what we not gonna do. Immediately you know what the future does not hold. It's prophecy, baby. It's prophecy.
I love that because the crowd is totally with you. You're like saying like a simple truth or whatever, and they're totally with you. And that's exactly
like they know
we're
it
talking
already.
about. Right.
They know it already, but he's
you're
exposing
pointing
it
out.
right? He's pulling it out in a way like, they know already that this ain't gonna happen. Like future, with black women talking, such a good bit, He's got, I've seen him do his stand up a few times, and he's got those kind of jokes like the hood nerd joke and the code switching, and even that one with the you know how black women talk, right? And everybody's always done the black woman. She's shaking her head and she's doing all that kind of stuff. But he took it to where what she's foreshadowing. Why does she say it like that? But then he presented it in a way that's you thought about it, but now oh my God, it's so true. That's why
it's
that reaction,
fun. It's fun for everybody. It's fun for everybody.
Yeah, fun for everybody. And he's got jokes like that. And then he's got he did like 3 jokes and he's getting a ton of laughs in a stretch amount of time. And then he's got a good story joke too. He's got a bank robbery story that's hilarious, and that's the whole set. The bank
robbery. People are
robbery.
have to go
Sometimes
see
you only
that
get 3
one.
minutes.
I don't have that clip.
4
Boney,
minutes
you don't have
on
that.
stage,
No, we don't have that.
and he tells one story, and that's it, man. He's like, "Thank you, good night," and it's like, "Oh man." So he's what he said earlier. He's got some tricks in his bag. He can go in different directions, and he's found such confidence and comfort on stage that has allowed him to share his comedy.
Jamel, how do you feel about the internet?
I'm excited.
You're doing a lot of stuff on the internet with like TikTok and YouTube and things like that. How do you see that as a tool for getting? Where do you want to go? Is what I'd like to know. And do you think you're going to go that way through working on stage, or are you going to do it through the internet, or are you going to do it through like some kind of combination of all of it? What are your goals and dreams?
The latter. I think I'm going to have to use all of them.
Yeah.
Because that's where the world is going.
Mm-hmm.
And so I try to like I have my moments where I'm posting a few times a week, and then sometimes like maybe once or something.
Yeah.
And it's trying to be more comfortable posting online and to increase my presence online. Even doing this show, like with you guys, and again, thank you for having me on Lunch Therapy, because you spoke about the strike earlier.
Yeah.
And like as a comedian, as a talent, I've always dreamt about my talent being global.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's up to me to do the work for that, to make it global, and that's a lot of mediums for that. But you were talking about the strike earlier, and one of the things that I noticed about the strike is we entertainers are going to need help from non-entertainers, and something that I don't see people talking about enough, and how to get these corporations to budge is the people helping, and that's by doing something really radical, and maybe canceling subscriptions to their cable, canceling subscriptions to other things where the corporate make their money.
Yeah,
and because they're affecting actors and writers' bottom line.
Yeah.
And so their bottom line has to be affected for them to understand. And it takes people who aren't talent to say, you know what, I'm going to stand with them. Now, this might mean, keep your internet because again, internet is where a lot of things are going.
Yeah.
And you'll be able
Some
to do
only
that.
have internet now. Yeah, some only have internet now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And some
you
only
gotta
have internet.
know what's going on in the world, right?
And you could go online and be thoroughly entertained, never turn your TV on these days.
Yeah. Never buy a subscription at all.
And
You could
never have a
watch
subscription at all.
Lunch therapy,
And-
all you want.
and right. And there are so many other podcasts and things that are going on these days that allow talented people to do the thing. And then you got people who do their own sketches and do their own scenes and stuff online. And so the industry is changing, and we can kind of see where it's going.
Yeah.
And
That's why we're on strike.
and in seeing where it's going, I'm a very big advocate of the people taking over, and the people are having more power than they do. I'm tired of like corporations and the wealthy dictating our moves.
Right.
They've also decided that the only meaning is money. The only meaning is the bottom line. The only proof of anything's worth is the bottom line. And that's so not true. And we're just brainwashed if we believe that. Yeah. I like
There's
sometimes
value in people other than money.
I've heard people say, well, they're not happy at work, but that's business. And you're like, well, isn't business for people? I mean, it's for the customer. It's for the people that work at the business too. It's for the people that buy the stocks. It's not just for the people that are playing the stock market.
Right.
These corporations are made for humans, and we forgot that somewhere. Somewhere along the line, we forgot that, and it became some kind of weird contest to see how many bees you can get.
How many likes?
Billions.
Friends that aren't friends.
And then we continuously let rich people dictate the conversation.
Yes.
Like
steering the direction.
There's this weird thing that we think that because they're rich, they have all the answers. And it's like, no, they just learned how to make money. They learned how to in some ways exploit people enough that they can make a lot of money. And there are some of us who enjoy being exploited because like those people who enjoy their job enough to exploit the next person for the rich person because they like being in favor with the wealthy people.
A lot of these people are addicts too. They're money addicts. I think and they've gone way beyond, and now they're starting to control us by pushing our buttons. Like a lot of times, we just get so upset. Elon Musk said that people without children should not have the right to vote. And I feel like he's just saying that just to make people mad. You know what I mean? And controlling the conversation.
Children mad.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like only people with children should have the right to vote, and he's got some weird logic that they're because you're voting on the future, and I guess people without children just don't matter. But he's just saying that to make us upset.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that gets more hits, and and it triggers our own addiction for some reason. People have an addiction to things that make them feel bad. I don't understand that at all, but I guess that's addiction for you, because when you're addicted to something that's not good for you, it's not good for you.
And you're still doing it, or you're still participating.
We need to get healthy. We need to get healthy, and we need to stop being brainwashed by this idea that things are only worth something if they're worth money.
Yep.
And there's so much more to the world than that. And we got to do something about it. And that's us, all of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And that controversy, that anger, and you know what I mean? Like when you're mad at something, it's like it's wasted energy. Like you're angry, because you don't have money, or you need to do this for money and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, come on, man. You can exist,
It builds upon itself.
You can be happy without it.
It builds upon itself, because if you are constantly triggering yourself, then you take it out into the world with you, and then you end up doing that to other people, and it's just a domino effect. And so we need to start finding more things that kind of enrich. I suggest gong baths. Listen to a good gong bath every once in a while.
A good
And then you feel
gong.
greedy. I feel greedy right now. You know what? I need a good gong bath.
Song baths are amazing, man.
Getting a
Like
little bit.
are.
I'm a little salty right now.
They are.
I've meditated. I've fallen asleep to a good sound
Yeah.
bath, man.
Yeah, me too.
They
I
are
love 'em.
fantastic.
A lot of, you know what it is? That meditation. It's a lot of like, look at your personal wealth. You know, your self being. You know what I mean? Have some what's it? Self compassion. Have some value to yourself. That it's not just about money, and it's not just about owning things and buying things. They announced on the news this morning. I heard it on the radio in the car that the Americans are $1 trillion in debt, the highest debt that it's ever been. Credit card debt, bills debt like that, and that just means that we owe money. We owe money with interest, and a lot of times you're buying things you don't need. You don't really need that to exist. You don't need to.
No, but
just
because
your
you've been
neighbor got a new
told that
car,
you
got to
need
get a
it.
new car.
You've been told that
You
you
know,
need it. Human beings need a fundamental change in their belief system. I think that's true. I think we need to move towards that.
That's
All
what
of
we're
us
talking about.
individually. Yeah,
That's what we're talking about.
that's right. Okay.
Yeah, mental
Unfortunately,
health.
we've run out of time. The show. This has
What do
been
you mean?
so
We're out
great.
of time?
Well, I mean, it's 106.
Really? Are you sure?
Anyway, this.
I
has
feel
been
like we're
great.
just at your house sitting around talking.
I know, totally.
Yeah,
Are we on a
it's-
show? Are we on a
It's-
show?
Yeah. That's
Hey,
exactly like this is what we do, and we're just hanging out. We're just talking
like
about
you said, Joel. You know how it is. Like when you have a good bit,
Yeah.
when you have a good story. Next thing you know, the time has gone by. Wait, that got to get the same amount of time as everybody else.
I know exactly.
I got to talk.
Wait a minute, did the time go by already? Yeah, I know.
The red light didn't even work when he was doing his bit.
I do think that the way people are controlled is through debt and also through the healthcare system being so poor. Because we have to be able to pay for these outrageous bills that people get, and so you feel like, oh my God,
system, expensive, poor healthcare system.
yeah, and you feel like, oh my God, I got to have health insurance, otherwise I've never be able to afford anything. There are certain things in place that we have to sort of break free of the bonds of. And part of it is a mind cage, though. It's the mental cage of thinking that this is the way life is. This is not the way life is. This is the way it has been forged for the benefit of very few people. Very few people.
Right.
That's how they keep us on a hamster wheel.
Yeah.
That,
Keep us on a
that
hamster
what
wheel.
you just said.
Yeah.
That what you just said, right? And advertising, marketing. Like they show these pictures and they show like, oh, you need this. You got to have this. If you want to be like this, you got to get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's how they bomb. How they part of the brainwash. Part of how they get you to think.
The latest ad that I've seen that has this very thing, this change of guard type of mentality is the using your debit card or using like your Google or Apple Pay.
Yeah.
And every commercial is, they show one person using their card and the chip isn't reading and this and that, and then they show the next person going beep,
Yeah.
and going on about their business.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like when you sell time, when you sell like
saving
convenience and it almost sells itself in a lot of ways. But it's like, what are we doing with all this extra time we're saving?
It doesn't feel like it. You were just saying nobody has any time. It's like I'm trying to talk to these comedians. They don't have any time because they're working like 2 other jobs and doing their comedy.
What are we doing all this time we're
But
saving?
they're quick to pay for their lunch.
There's
They get paid for their
absolutely
lunch.
no
They're
time.
saving-
It's an empty promise of time. Americans have
6
become
minutes.
nothing more than fodder for the economic system.
Fodder.
Wow, fodder. Yeah. It's true. Anyway,
This has been fun.
this is great. I mean, this is the
Yeah.
kind of conversation that all of us should be having every day, trying, figure our way out of this thing because we need it. I hope you've enjoyed
What's
being
up?
on the
What's
show,
up?
Jamel.
What you
This has
got?
been
What you
super
got going
fun.
on?
Yeah.
Mel, where can people catch you?
Well,
In the
I've
next
got
couple weeks
this.
or whatever. What's up?
I've got this, and I've got this to
that's right,
show.
the festival
That's where you can
business.
hit Jamel.
That's
So,
where
yeah.
you can find me right there.
That's
Find
a fun
him at
one.
the Burbank
Spoken
Comedy
Fun.
Festival.
Victorville once a month.
Show up at the Burbank Comedy Festival and vote. And then also at Spoken Funk. That's awesome.
Hey, hummingbirds. Whoever's in town, we should all get together and go see Mel.
Yeah,
Mel
that'd be
perform
great.
at the Burbank. A whole audience full of Jamel Hooper fans.
Yeah.
And listen. I have for sale tickets. I have discount tickets. I have complimentary tickets.
All right.
And but there will be no complimentary tickets given 24 hours before the show. So you got to get the comps immediately.
Oh yeah. No last minute bullshit. That's
And
right.
how do they do that? Do you have a website that people can go to, or do you have anything?
I do not. But
I was looking for one. We got to get you one.
But what
Yeah,
I
QR
can
code.
do, but what I can do is I can send them. I can send you the links, and then you can share with people.
People should
And
hit
then,
you up on Instagram too, and like
and
DM
hit me
you
up on
and all that
Instagram,
stuff.
and I will send you whatever links you ask for. I will send you the complimentary links and what have you. If you DM me on Instagram.
All right, good idea. But we got to get
What
you.
were the dates again? One more time.
You can DM me
What's the date?
on YouTube as well.
YouTube as well.
I just posted a new video on YouTube, so you can go and see that.
So your YouTube channel is Jamel Hooper, and then there's a bunch of numbers. No, is it numbers?
For some reason, I don't know why they did that.
You got to change your handle. You need my help.
It's got a bunch of oh, you know why? He took the handle they gave him. He didn't
Yeah,
create a
that's
handle.
probably why.
No,
That's what it is.
because it used to not have those numbers on it. I don't know when they.
I know. Well, there's a new thing now where you
came
can
up with
change
this
your
system,
handle
yeah.
name. You can change it, and you can go in there and
I'll
choose your
work on
own.
that. I saw that yesterday when I posted it. I'm going.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen no 6901 numbers. Where the hell
Right,
that
like
come
what's
from?
that all about?
I am not an inmate, okay? Don't you be barcoding me.
It's like my
Step
par-
forward,
my-
door.
it's
Step
like-
forward.
My mom makes an email address. She always puts numbers at the end of the thing, and I'm like, that's not a password. That's your email address.
I worked hard to avoid prison. I worked hard to avoid jail. I left the hood unscathed. Okay, I did no time. When I was in the
I don't
hood.
need any numbers. I don't need
I
any
don't need
numbers.
them numbers on me. Don't get them numbers off me. I never saw the inside of a jail until I moved to North Hollywood.
Terrible.
never seen it.
Terrible. Man, I'm telling you, I'm from the Bay Area, just still California, and LA. I've never.
We gotta hear that.
racism.
I gotta hear that story
It's in LA.
sometime.
In
I gotta go see you tell that story somewhere.
Hey, and that's the interesting thing because I'm working out. I just started telling them my jail story.
Yeah.
On how I went to jail and the time that I spent, and it's
And how the first time you went to jail was in North Hollywood. I mean, for God's sake.
yeah, Hollywood. And then I was in Van Nuys City Jail. And,
Oh my God, we gotta hear that story. Maybe we'll have you back on just to tell that story. You can work it out.
I want to
Trash
say,
Panda Comedy Club.
go back and watch. Go to Jamel's channel and watch some of his video clips. That clip you showed of him doing Michael Jackson, like right there in front of that shop.
So great.
Like, look at his Michael Jackson. Look at other people's Michael Jackson. You see people, they're working hard, man. They're getting into it, And you see, look at how smooth his Michael Jackson is. Like his feet. I get bugged out when I watch him do Michael Jackson because it's like his version of Michael Jackson. He's not trying to do Michael Jackson. He's doing Jamel Hooper's version of Michael Jackson. It's so smooth, so light and shit, I like that.
It's so nice. It's so nice. No effort
Mike
at
taught
all.
so many of us how to dance, man. Like it was like because he was so true to the one and so he was always like the beat is here.
Hey, look, we got a customer. Julia says, I'm looking at the Burbank Fest schedule. Do we know which show Jamel is on?
Monday. I'm on the Monday shows.
Is that the 14th?
So look at Monday. Yeah.
Monday. Okay.
August 14th? Yeah, August 14th.
And also hit him up on the Instagram too. And he's going to be changing his YouTube handle, but right now it's Jamel Hooper 6491.
Inmate number 926.
All right. So we got to dance this thing out. We got a couple of dancers. We got at least 2 dancers here. So this is I'm going to put this on the screen here. Or Boney, could you put that on the screen? Because I don't know what I'm doing here. Could you handle that? It's got to be white so people can see it. All right, so we're going to dance. So get ready to dance.
Jamel Hooper, 6491.
6491. There it is.
It is.
That's horrible.
That's hilarious.
6491.
That is
There's so many
hilarious.
Jamel Hoopers out there in the world too. Like
So many Jamel Hoopers.
so many. I just.
Oh
All
my
right.
gosh! I just realized what those numbers are.
What are they?
Wow. We
Phone
met in
number?
91, didn't we, Mel?
The year you
Didn't
were
we meet in
born.
91? Yeah.
Like Blas was born in '64.
And then the year I was
And
born.
we met in
91.
91. Didn't we
And then
meet
the
in
year
91?
Joe. No,
And I was born in 91. Holy Gimel. All right, let's get this thing going. Dance break time.
Oh, Gimel.
Yeah, we're gonna
Good
dance
video.
to. This is one of my favorite YouTube bands. They're called. Well, they're not just a YouTube band, but my ones I found on YouTube. They're called The Main Squeeze. Let's do this thing. Blas. I don't know where Blas went, but he's coming back soon. So yeah, have you heard of The Main Squeeze? Pretty awesome, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
Chaka Khan.
yeah, we got some Chaka Khan going on here. All right.
Captured effortlessly, that's the way it was. Happened so naturally, I didn't know it was love. The next thing
up,
I
Bonnie?
felt was you holding me close. You just what I would do, let myself go. Now I'm flying through the stars. Hope this night will last forever. I've been waiting for you. It's been so long. Knew just what I would do when I heard your song. Filled my heart with your bliss, gave me freedom. I knew I could not resist. I needed someone. Now I'm flying through the stars.
This guy's great,
This
too.
night will
He's the
last
lead singer.
forever. Say, ain't nobody loves me better, makes me happy, makes me feel this way. Ain't nobody loves me better than you. Hey. I wait for nighttime to come to bring it to me. I can't believe I'm the one who was so lonely. I feel like no one can feel. I must be dreaming. I need this dream to be real. I need this feeling. I make my wish upon a star and hope this night will last forever. Let's go. Ain't nobody loves me better, makes me happy, makes me feel this way. Ain't nobody loves me better, ain't nobody loves me better than you.
Okay, everybody, check out The Main Squeeze on YouTube. They got great songs on there. I think they're from LA. Thank you, Jamel, for being on the show. Really appreciate you. Kisses to you as well. All right. This has been Lunch
Stay up,
Therapy.
y'all.
Just highest.
Joel Marshall's Lunch Therapy.